So Mark Carney has named his new cabinet. And one appointment that is raising a few eyebrows is that of Gregor Robertson as Minister of Housing and Infrastructure. It's time to talk about Gregor Robertson, his background, his new position, and the challenges that he will be facing. I'm Steve Sandford. You're watching Dominion Report. Canada's housing crisis has a new quarterback. Once dubbed the Green Mayor of Vancouver, Robertson is back in politics, and this time on a federal stage. He brings with him a bunch of relevant experience, but he also brings some baggage. From being associated with skyrocketing housing costs to cozy relationships with developers. So, does his track record hold up under scrutiny? And what does his return mean for Canadians struggling with rent and with mortgage payments? Robertson was born in North Vancouver, and he grew up both there and in a suburb of San Francisco. After studying at Colorado College and at UBC, he rebuilt a wooden sailboat and then sailed it across the Pacific Ocean with his then wife. Robertson later co-founded an organic juice company called Happy Planet. In 2005, he jumped into politics, winning a seat in the BC provincial legislature as an NDP candidate. Just 3 years later, he ran for mayor of Vancouver under the Vision Vancouver party banner, and he won and remained mayor for about a decade. While campaigning, Robertson had promised bold environmental leadership and housing crisis solutions. And in some ways, he delivered those things. Under his tenure, Vancouver invested in bicycle infrastructure, in urban gardens, and numerous sustainability projects. Robertson launched the Greenest City 2020 initiative, a project attempting to make Vancouver the greenest city in the world. However, his time as mayor wasn't without controversy. In 2010, Robertson was caught on a hot mic calling public speakers at a council meeting effing hacks. The comment came after a local resident complained, raising concerns over a city rezoning plan. And many saw it as emblematic of an arrogant city administration. Robertson subsequently apologized, but the incident left a lasting mark. Perhaps worse than that, Vision Vancouver Party received sizable campaign donations from real estate developers. Critics accused the administration of being too cozy with the very forces that were driving housing prices up. Robertson insisted his policies aimed to increase housing supply. However, accusations of insider access and opaque rezoning dogged him for the remainder of his time as mayor. Further, during the decade where he was the mayor, it coincided with one of the greatest increases in housing prices in Vancouver, as well as across the country. After leaving the mayor's office in 2018, Robertson turned to international climate advocacy. He worked with the Global Covenant of Mayors, advising on sustainable urban development. He also joined the World Bank as an advisor on resilient cities. Crucially, he was also involved in the modular housing sector, something that Mark Carney campaigned on and has talked about several times. Modular construction has the capacity to disrupt the development industry and to rapidly address housing scarcity. And I suspect it's something that we'll be talking about more on this channel. Robertson re-entered politics this year, running for the Federal Liberal Party in the newly created riding of Vancouver-Fraserview South Burnaby. And earlier this week, he was announced by Mark Carney as Minister of Housing and Infrastructure. Now, we've said on the channel before that Carney isn't stupid. You might agree or disagree with his policies, but clearly the guy is pretty bright. So he would be very aware of the baggage that Robertson brings into this position. And it's already given political opponents a barrage of material to attack Carney and to attack the Liberals after the cabinet announcement. So clearly Carney thinks it's worth it, and I think Carney cares less about optics and more about results. Robertson will be expected to fast-track new housing, especially modular and prefab builds. He'll push for densification in urban areas, and he'll have to work with all levels of government to do so. Expect to see green infrastructure, including transit initiatives, go along with all of that. But let me be clear, if housing affordability doesn't improve, and let's just say fast, his past controversies will become more than just a footnote. They may even become an unheeded warning. And this choice by Carney will either be heralded as inspired and seminal, or may be hung around his neck going into the next federal election. So, if you have found this backgrounder on Robertson useful, and you'd like to see similar discussions on some of Carney's other cabinet member selections, let me know in the comments below which ones you have in mind. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of those future videos. In the meantime, stay safe, stay strong, and elbows up.